Hey, Superior Shave fans and other humans, how you doing today? If you go on the superiorshave.com, you'll see these little blocks of wood that I've shaped and put lapping film on. There's a two-sided one that's got 30 and 15 micron films on it like that, and they're opposite from each other. Or for one side at a time, you got 30 microns on this one and 15 microns on the next one. You'd want to use 15 microns for a razor that was in pretty good shape. If it's a rough razor like an eBay razor, I would start with the 30 micron. This customer has sent in a little tutorial about how he uses these little guys. It's not a sharpening stone, but it's something you can hold in your hand and it works faster than a sharpening stone. It actually works really, really good. And I hope you enjoy this tutorial because the information's fantastic. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Hello. I thought I would make some suggestions about technique when sharpening a blade on these convex surfaces. So here I have a razor that I sharpened a few days ago, so it's pretty much sharp and ready to go. But here's an ellipsoid surfaced maple block, curved in that way, and less of a curve in this direction. Sort of a 25-foot diameter in that direction, 6 feet diameter in this direction. And one of the things we can do is, let me put a few drops of oil on here. I could arrange this in the form of my astrological sign, but just a few drops of oil does the job. So what I've noticed is that there's a tendency to simply rub the stone or the lapping film along the edge like this. And that works, but it really only polishes along one little stretch there. So what I tend to do instead is I tend to start there and move in a roughly 45-degree angle like this. So by doing this, I get the whole edge. And in addition to that, what I do is on this, when I'm near the heel here, because this is a slightly curved surface, it tends to roll slightly from side to side. So what I do is I put a little bit more pressure toward the heel here. And then as I get to the toe, I put a little bit more pressure toward the toe. So as I go, I'm rolling it like this and pulling it along the edge and rolling it. So this is a very delicate movement. There's almost no roll in the surface. So it's just that I put a tiny bit more pressure on the one side than the other on different parts of the blade. So here we go, you see this. Make sure that the whole blade is sharpened. Always keeping the stone perpendicular to the edge so that the geometry is maintained. So here you can see it sort of, the swath is more evenly distributed along the surface because I'm using a little surface. So I could turn the block around for the other side, and then again I come in here and roll it toward the toe, roll it toward the heel. Put my finger under the blade here just to stabilize it, and this is a very effective way of touching all parts along the edge. No blade is perfect. All of them have a bit of a twist or a bit of a frown, sometimes a slightly curved spine. So whatever the case, there are always slight differences. So I view the blade as being accumulation of all the little parts of the blade to make up the complete blade. So this way, all parts of the edge are sharpened. And then finally, I might just draw it out like this a little bit. The diamond grit leaves a very even scratch on the bevels, so then I could get another stone. Let's use the Arkansas, my favorites. This Arkansas has an ellipsoid surface on this side, so I could come in with this and again put a drop or two of oil on it, and then come in on here, and this would smooth out the scratches in the concave part of the bevel, which would conform to the convex surface of the diamond lapping film. And now the Arkansas, which is not going to have such an even scratch pattern, will give us sort of a misty surface to the bevels. And because this is a convex surface, it will touch it will sharpen the entire bevel. A little pressure toward the heel, a little pressure toward the toe. And then finally turn it over, and this part of it, this stone is flat on the bottom, and so when I put the flat stone on the blade, it's going to touch at the spine and only at the very edge, a micron or two behind the very edge. So it's not going to touch the beginning part of the bevel. So the bevel is concave and very thin as it approaches the edge, the apex, and this touches only right near the apex. And so this way I will get an Arkansas finish to the edge for my shaving. And Arkansas edges are great, they're my favorite. This just draws the steel out. Arkansas stone burnishes as much as it sharpens. So this will actually pull the steel off the edge. And the same thing here, push the steel right off the edge there like that. Just very gently. And that should do it. And at this stage I could strop it again and then shave. And as I said, I used this a couple of days ago, shaved perfectly, and after stropping it will still shave perfectly. It's a nice piece of steel. It looks old, it's probably 125 years old, and I cleaned the rust off it, and it was in rough shape when I got it. But the steel is excellent, and after sharpening it like this with a nice thin bevel and a keen edge, it makes an absolutely marvelous shaver. I could shave with this for the rest of my life. I won't, because there are lots of other fundraisers too, but this would do it. All right, that's it today.